Hey everyone, and welcome back to the lands of Alaire. Seems like Twitch is having some difficulties, but we're gonna keep on going through with the session. Just see what happens during this heist in Galdoon, the Hobgoblin's estate. You guys all just got settled down in Rotbeards as evening approaches, and Bilberry has given you the plan. We're going to convince the guards we belong, make our way to the second story, steal a helmet, and maybe meet some interesting people on the way. You guys want to do anything before heading out, or?
Well, I think mainly we'll notice that Gilroy is now wearing completely different robes.
Yes, Gilroy enters in much more extravagant robes.
And if this is a party, I think we should probably do the same. If I can
I mean, I think
you don't have to keep
you're
it
wearing...
on. Just to...
No, I don't mind wearing the furs.
I already have finery,
These
but
are-
I could use new hat.
These mean a lot to me.
I mean, winter wolf furs, I think, is what you have on, and that sounds pretty nice. Like to
I know
begin
my
with.
plain leather armor isn't probably going to fit in.
Nope, I don't
It's
think
just like a human.
I don't think
going
plate
into
mail
the thing.
probably
Yeah.
will either.
No,
So
but he will be good curiosity. No one sees elf with beard. They're very strange.
That's good, Jar. Maybe I'll braid it too.
That would be very interesting indeed. Like your dwarf, just tall with pointy ears.
I don't think that's the weirdest thing this city has seen. So.
But it will be close.
Okay, I'll make my hair look nice as long as I can keep this on.
it's just an idea.
Well, I just met the most gracious and wonderful Tabaxi. Just up the road. He could probably get you guys some better clothes. But I asked you don't ruin my reputation with him. We had a good thing going.
Does he get hairs all over clothes?
No, actually, he seemed quite professional.
Excellent.
So you lead the party to Zimbak?
Yes.
Okay. Re-entering, bell rings. Zimbak, the older Tabaxi, looks up and he goes, "Ah, Gilroy, my favorite customer."
Good to see you again.
Millie's just rolling her eyes.
I brought you more business.
Ah, yes, very good. What is this you have brought for me? You don't look like you've worn finery in your life.
I'm actually quite used to it.
Oh, deceptive. I like it. Let us see. And he finds he suggests a very nice dress for you, Maylee. And a doublet for you, Leander.
I'm more used to vestments, but
Oh, this is all the rage. The big shoulders.
I'll give it a shot.
Very nice. A 150 gold.
All right.
And for you, milady.
She's gonna kind of look at the dress and kind of feel the fabric and look at the embroidery.
Sure. Yeah, it's a very fine purple and yellow dress. Probably a bit flashy, but you wouldn't expect any less out of this guy's shop.
She's gonna say it kind of reminds her of home, and she takes it.
Sure.
For
140 gold for that one.
I've seen better embroidery, but I guess we'll go with 140.
Oh,
Really?
oh my goodness.
And for you,
I would like a purple scarf and do you have travel clothes?
yes.
I would like a fine leather traveling hat. Broad brim.
That is
Brim
not
off.
an issue, my friend. But do you truly feel that purple is the best for your skin color? I mean, don't you think you could go for something a little more contrasting?
Do you have yellow?
Yellow. Yes. You are in Karadmoren, my friend. We are known for two things: scarves and yellow.
Alright, I will take yellow scarf.
Very well. And easy enough.
And then Jar will go and he will tie the scarf over his hair.
Okay. So that will come out to the hat and the scarf, probably 50 gold.
50 gold. Excellent.
And for you, my friend, nothing. You look fine as is.
Well, everybody does look kind of nice. Do you have any nice furs?
No. I do not deal in fur.
Why would you ask this at the backseat? What sort of monster are you?
Oh, I'm so sorry!
It's not always been Erlon's strong.
Deadpan.
my strengths are in... Bye. I gotta
Why did you bring him here?
You know, sometimes he'll surprise you. Don't mind him.
It did surprise me how uncouth he was.
Oh, well, thank you so much. I think we were all quite fitting and dashing. Mainly a dress. I thought maybe a pantsuit, to be honest.
It's like the layers.
No, it looks good. It looks good.
That would have been fine too.
And I like the scarf jar. That's
Wonderful, I know.
it's good to have another guy around here that you know. Well, Leander and Erlon have their battle brother thing. I guess we could be scarf brothers.
He's like mocking you, like behind you. Like flipping her
They
hair.
do not understand how wonderful it feels to dress in fine clothes.
It's true. It's true.
Scarf brothers, huh?
Shut up, Leander.
They're just jealous.
Yes.
And Bilberry comes running up the street just as the rain begins to fall, muddying the stone streets and pouring off of nearby tile roofs. He goes, we're gonna be late. Come on.
What is Bilberry wearing?
He has a feathered cap and a tiny doublet. Much to the same style as yours, except for red and white fabrics. And in time, as you make your way south, you see that Morgan's paddle, the largest of the water wheels, slowly begins to crank to life. And Bilberry leads you across a bridge to the southern side of town, and within moments, you're in front of a large, 2-story stone building with a large porch upon which 2 human guards stand, halberds in hand. That is here.
Mm-hmm. We are busted up.
Oh, these guys didn't heal.
Yeah, it's been a day, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, between your travel and stuff, you guys managed to get some rest in.
Good.
We're dressed nice, but we're bleeding everywhere.
Alright, we got bandages on. Yep.
After we left, Erlon's eyes are just kind of like downcast. Really like embarrassed.
Don't feel bad, Erlon. The furs are quite nice.
Bilberry, upon walking up onto the stone porch, steps aside so that you guys have opportunity to speak with the guards. I have Jar and Gilroy in the front, but whoever wants to take lead can do so.
I think that sounds good, yeah?
Yep, sure.
Okay?
We throw our scarves over our shoulders.
right in front of me and Erlon.
It almost like hits me in the face. I just snort at it.
Gentlemen,
Greetings.
good evening. How are things? Have the important people shown yet?
Yes, indeed. Thaddeus Grolt and Banset are already here. Galdoon awaits some other contacts. And you are?
Well, I'm Gilroy.
I'm Jar.
Of?
Elaborate bow.
Yes.
I am of Old Town.
And myself and the rest of the party are from River's End.
River's End. A slum?
Well, it's been through some troubles recently. But we're with the big players there. Sibelius.
Name rings a bell.
Yes.
Very well. Not exactly a list, but Galdoon only wants to see those that he thinks are worthy.
These are our servants behind.
The family, the Woodrow family.
Yes, the Woodrows.
Are they well known or are they well
They're
liked?
pretty wealthy.
Okay, I'm just going to walk right up to the front and say I'm from the house of Woodrow and just kind of
Scoot
like I
on
belong
past.
there, like just walk.
Okay, they definitely let you on past.
And you
mainly-
guys don't really know where I'm from. I'm just kind of very comfortable here. And
Yeah, you've never
make
said.
myself at
For
home.
sure.
They glance at your servants.
The servants glance at each other, I'm sure, as well.
Okay,
And go.
so with Meili's gesture, they are all permitted inside, and the two guards step aside, allowing you in.
No, we're like, what can we bring with us? Did Bilberry?
Bilberry, I mean, he doesn't seem to have anything on him.
Right.
No daggers or anything, but you know he could be tricky.
So, like, this ancient red axe on my back? Probably not.
The guards don't take it from you.
Fair enough.
If they tried.
I was gonna say, it seems that's worth a lot of money. Means we're somewhere
Right,
out
it
there.
just kind of proves the oddity that you are.
Right.
And so as you emerge, you come into this large foyer of stone floors with a nice large carpet, and you see before you is a rather hunched over and elderly looking goblin who is speaking with some finely dressed nobility and going on about the recent rates of healing potions. And he turns back as you approach and sees, I guess he would note probably Gilroy and Erlon. And he goes, he would walk up to you, and he gives a bow and goes, Gilgrot, Grimshank, you saved my nephew. Well done.
Yes, of course. Thank you. It was our pleasure.
10% discount from the Grimshank clan. When you come into Waterwheel, you know where to get your potions.
Thank you.
Yes, they've served us well already. Thank you.
Of course. And he slithers on back in this direction, talking to these nobles who seem rather despondent. Bilberry walks on up, and he tugs on your robe for a second, Gilroy, and goes, that guard over there, the one in the corner next to the stairwell, I think he's the guy we gotta get past. If we can do that, well, sneaky people should follow me.
Well, I could attempt to distract him, I suppose.
I think that one there, though, points towards a hobgoblin who dresses with stands with a rather regal stance and dresses in purple. He goes, I think that's Galdoon. Maybe, maybe we have to deal with him first.
We are but your humble servants.
And I think Leander scoffs and begins to mingle with some of the guests.
Okay.
I'll act like a bodyguard.
Yeah,
Sure.
no, I think that's what you. Yeah.
Is there any conversation of note that I'm overhearing?
Yeah, you overhear these two dwarves who seem to be distinctly separating themselves from everyone else, going on about the Steel of the Sunreachers, which is the name of the smithy that Gilroy had to pass by to get to Zimbax. And they seem to be talking about the workforce there, how the materials have been flowing into town, and how they think that this whole get-together is rather disgraceful. However, the one entertaining thing that I've heard coming from this place is a card game about to start, a high-stakes game. I want to get in on that. Don't know who quite to talk to.
Just gonna hold on to that. I will, I think I'll, what do you think, Jar? Shall we deal with
Well,
our host?
I think I can sneak if we need to. I can make some invisibility. Or I have had some fair luck with cards in the past. There are other things.
Options abound for you then.
We could listen a bit more. Mingle. Circle room.
No rush. Okay.
Maylee's gonna just kind of go over to Leander, just meander over and just let her know what she heard.
Sure.
So.
Well, can't say I've played much cards before, but might be useful. And I think Leander's probably going to move. He's going to probably address the two talking about the card game
Sure.
that Melee had pointed out.
So you up to those dwarves?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, they're dwarves.
Yep.
I guess that doesn't mean much here in Waterwheel. Greetings. I am Sir Ren.
Sir Ren. Of what order?
Well, that's exactly the point I was going to talk to you about. Seeing as you're dwarves, I think I overheard you talking about some of the supplies coming into town.
Yes.
I don't see very much high quality arms and armor readily available.
The face is going red. He goes, that's because of the gnomes and their damn lightning gate. Always got us making screws and cogs and whistles.
I must admit, that does seem to be the problem.
Right, well, you can't make a fine sword if you're spending all day mass manufacturing screws.
And that's exactly what I'm angry about.
Glad we agree!
And I think Leander keeps trying to
Egg them on.
Yeah.
Alright, what are the rest of you intent on doing?
I think Jar will try to circle around the room, probably heading towards the northwest corner first, and seeing what he sees, hearing what he hears, and looks like there's a hallway maybe to peep down.
Sure. So, like over towards this position? Stuck you kind of in the middle of the room.
Yeah, that works.
So, you see down the way, this room to the south appears to be a kind of a private room, probably where a card game would take place.
Okay.
The guard over this way, is grabbing at his stomach as he seems very hungry. And Galdoon, the hobgoblin before you, is speaking with this group here, mostly trying to convince them that Mayor Benevel is not doing a particularly good job of guiding Waterwheel, and that Clan Molnar is no ally to have, all in all. They should never be forgiven for their atrocities in the past.
Anybody doing anything while Jar's doing
Yeah,
that?
Jar's listening in on all that.
Maylee's just gonna hang back in the wall near the guard, but just not drawing too much attention to
Sure.
herself. Just kind of, just standing.
And Erlon and Gilroy are left at the door.
Yep.
I go where you go, Gilroy.
All right, well, let's meet the players, I suppose. And I'll walk up to the hobgoblin.
Okay. And his accompanying nobility step aside, permitting you to get in on the conversation. And the hobgoblin looks up towards you with inquisitive eyes, and he goes, never seen your face.
New to town.
Are you now?
Yes.
And what brings you to my party?
Oh, well, we've heard you put on quite the soiree, and I must say the home is quite nice. Thank you for having us. How does one come into a home like this?
My business is in death, mostly. I was here.
We have something in common. Look to Erlon.
I was here in the early days, when Clan Monar picked away at those attempting to settle on the surface by the rivers. They needed protection, and I had a numerous clan. At least back then I did. Our leader, not a particularly strong-willed hobgoblin, couldn't find allies where I could, and ultimately I ended up making quite a pile of coin for my services in driving Clan Molnar back. And I take pride in that.
Well, the company you keep is all that matters, really.
Much agreed. You seem an interesting fellow.
I have been, as of late. It's a bit new to me. I used to spend my days in a library, dozens of feet underground. Now I seem to find myself in other people's libraries, dozens of feet underground.
I understand. Very interesting, very well read. And who is your companion there?
This is my good friend Erlon. Hails from the far north.
Yeah. Very interesting. Quite the specimen. Does he speak?
Yes. Many languages.
Good. Well, perhaps I could invite you to partake in a game. I've gathered up some interesting fellows. I do love games of chance. Join me. And that, he pushes past you, Jar, and begins making his way to the south, beckoning that Gilroy and Erlon accompany him.
I don't know that it would be a good idea to refuse. Alright.
I just gesture to the axe on my back. We'll be safe, Gilroy.
However, once you reach this intermediary room here, between what you presume is the game room and the foyer there is a guard there who checks you over. And when you walk past Gilroy, he permits you pretty much right on past. You have nothing pointy, with the exception of your dagger, which he asks to take from you.
Alright, not particularly attached to it.
He just sets it down right next to him. And he looks towards you and he goes, I never want to ask a free roamer this question, but can I have your axe, please? It'll be right here outside the door.
As long as it's within eyes view.
And he sets it right outside the door so that you can see it. He goes, hands off, I'm not messing with it. But you know how it is.
Is it possible to have my returning axe under my furs?
Sure.
Like I normally
Heck
would?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he doesn't pat you down, he just sees what he can
Gotcha.
take. And so you guys make it on into this room. Galdoon introduces you. He goes, Thaddeus Grout, Ernest, and Benset. This is Gilroy and his companion, Erlon. They'll be playing cards with you.
This dude's a psycho.
I'll return later this evening. And with
Just
that,
leaves you.
he stumbles on out and leaves you
I thought we were playing with him.
at the table.
We've been incapacitated, essentially. Probably a good idea. Okay.
And before you have a half-orc sailor, Thaddeus Grout, dressed very much so in the clothes of a pirate. And he has a big smile as he lays down his cards and tips his hat and goes, Thaddeus Grout, the most famous sailor to ever walk the land.
Gilroy, soon to be the most famous mage to ever walk the land.
Well met, Gilroy. And then beside him is a rich deep gnome. That would be Benset. He's bald and rather short, has to stand on his stool to play the game and make sure no one can see his cards. And he introduces himself. He goes, I'm Benset, and I keep watch over the local gem polishing operations. And there's a noble wizard from Old Town on the far side of the table. Ernest is his name. And he seems to be an older human gentleman with a shorter gray beard. And he goes, Ernest, magician.
Would I have heard of him ever?
No, I don't believe so.
No
He's not
particular things of legend.
No.
Yeah. Okay. Well. Shall we play?
Yes. The game goes, Thaddeus. It would be, Dragon's Horde. One of our favorites.
Yes, I'm quite fond of it as well.
So, the way it would be played is we roll 2d12. You're looking to reach as close to 14 as you can, and a 12 can count as a 12 or a 2.
Okay. I gotcha.
Is Erlon in on this?
Do you want it to? I mean, you have coin to spend. They'd willingly let you down on the table.
I just take a pass and kind of survey the room.
That's fair.
So you
I
get
want to
one.
make Gilroy kind of look important while also imposing my.
Yes.
Yeah.
You get one roll.
You get the 2d12, yeah.
Okay. And a 2, a 5.
Five?
5, yes.
Well, the first wager would be 250 gold. And Thaddeus Gralt rolled a 14. So he files it on in with a smile as he lays down his cards and he goes, Thaddeus Gralt wins again. I love this game. And then let's cut back up to you guys up in the foyer. Melee, you can hear this guard's stomach rumble. He's like, oh, God, if I could get some of that boar in the kitchen. I love boar.
I'm gonna go up to him, actually tell him that he seemed to be doing a good job. I will go grab you some.
Oh, that would be much appreciated. The cook is a bit of a finicky guy, though. He really likes to keep a watch over his food.
I'm sure we can come to some sort of understanding.
Oh, I like the way you talk. Oh, hopefully see you soon.
Okay, so I'm going to... What does the kitchen look like?
So
to the
you make your
doorway.
way over towards where you've seen a dining room, and
Yeah.
Bilberry awaits you.
Mhm.
And within this space, he kind of comes on with you as you walk into the dining room, and you can see that there is a noble-looking woman who is berating a servant over her placement of silverware, and she is seemingly rather distracted at the moment, though some degree of stealth to make it through this room might be a good idea, as Bilberry goes low and begins to duck behind the table.
Yeah.
He's going to do pretty well. 18 will do. So together, you and Bilberry pretty deftly dash behind this table, wait for them to look away, and then dash below into the kitchen. The cook is busy with his boar, chopping away at bits that he hasn't quite cooked yet. And the dishwasher, who is actively cleaning away at some pots and pans, looks over towards Bilberry, because he was anticipating someone to come, and gives a wink. And then he takes one of the dishes, walks over this way on this side, and smashes it into the ground. And the chef looks over towards the dishwasher and goes, "You oaf! What the hell are you doing?" And walks over to begin cleaning up the bits of dishes, and you have a moment to get in at his meal he's been preparing. So you dash over towards his oven and grab a haunch of boar and manage to... Let me roll a quick perception. No way. So you manage to scoot on out of here with a steaming and well-smelling cooked haunch of boar. And Bilberry goes, perfect, that ought to do very well. You just get him away from his post. And that one. And he points over towards Jar, and he goes, we'll be heading on up and getting down.
Alright, so I'm gonna go over to the guard. I'm gonna stand on the opposite side of the door and make him take like a couple steps
Sure, yeah.
towards me in order to get the food.
Then he willingly begins to make his way over towards you the moment that you come with a plate of boar, and grabs it off the plate and immediately bites into it and goes, "Thank you, miss. Oh, I needed that." And with that, Bilberry and Jar can make their way on up.
Okay.
So you guys, you may be teleported to the darkness here for me to get this set up.
Just don't cast magic missile on it.
Boom. So you guys end up ascending the stairs. Give me control for a second. Oh, come on. Go over to your west. A good amount. East, my bad. East. There you go.
Alright.
So you guys ascend the stairs and end up on the second floor. And before we go into that, we'll go back to the card game.
Here, take this. It's been doing well for me tonight. I'll help you out.
Another round then.
Here to play.
I'm putting 500 down.
That's nice. I'll match it.
All right. Oof.
11. Wait, is that a 9 or a 5? Or rather, a 9 or a 6?
That's a 9.
Yeah.
So 14.
What? A perfect hand.
Nice.
And you managed to make 1,500 gold.
Sweet.
There's a lot less gold on the table than there was. Thaddeus Gralt gives you a smile and goes, "Well played." Ernest flicks his fingers for a moment, and the curtains, or the fabric of the table gives a little waft as he prestidigitizes it to move about. And Benset scratches his head and goes, "I thought I had it." Which will cut us back. Unless there's anything you would like to do, Leander, or you melee, post your distraction.
No, I think it'll be fine.
Those dwarves are quite riled up at the moment.
Okay, good.
Why did you rile them up?
It could have been a future distraction or learning something.
It might be good just to have him on our side later on.
Right.
too.
Right.
I
Okay,
remember.
I was just curious.
All right, then. Cutting back.
Just because that was my way to get in with them, like is to say that I have the same problems as them.
Right.
Over to Jar and Bilberry. So, as you turn the corner, you hear some heavy footsteps, and you oversee a well-armed guard making his way down the hallway to the north. He's right up this way. And he walks along, making his way further down, opposite direction from you. And Bilberry looks towards you and he goes, north or south, your pick.
So we had the one guard just go north. So we will try to sneak around to the south.
All right. I'll keep watch right here. You see what's going on down there.
All right, will do.
Okay, so you make your way into the southern room, which appears to be a guest's bedroom, though a dead end. Notably, beside the beautiful fabrics of the bed and the hardwood furniture, there is a dagger on the bed rest.
Mm-hmm.
It is sitting in an iron hand, but it appears to be of elvish design, made of very nice metals, and has an emerald encrusted in the handle.
Encrusted dagger. Okay. But the room, other than that, there's nobody in here.
Doesn't seem
just
so.
a dagger.
Yeah.
So Jar is going to peek back around and motion to Bilberry.
Okay.
Come here.
All right.
And
Tom's his way on down.
then he's going to try to, since there's nobody around. Okay, do I think my voice would carry all the way down the hall if I tried to cast?
Among the sounds of party chatter and the clinking of wine glasses and all that, probably not.
Okay, I'm gonna use 2 second-level spell slots for invisibility. One for Bilberry, one for Jar.
Okay.
And then, so that's good for an hour. Jar's going to step over now and take a look at that fancy-looking dagger.
Yes, it is very fancy looking.
Indeed.
So he's going to examine it to see if it appears to be attached to any sort of
Mechanism?
trap or other mechanism.
Sure.
Yes. So investigate. That's a 25.
Yes, if you were to take this dagger, that hand would grab you with a magical movement and not let go.
Okay, so it would be a magical thing, so I can't really use... Do I feel like I could use thieves' tools to...
To remove the dagger
To
in such a
remove it
way
out.
that it couldn't grab you?
Yeah.
Yes, you definitely could.
Okay.
Just use a stick to hit the dagger out of them. Thieves' tools.
Thieves' tools.
So, kind of whispering over to Bilberry, we'll keep this in mind, but we will look for primary target first.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
It's a nice looking piece, but not quite the value that I'm looking for.
Right.
Alright, and do you guys want to do anything? Cut over scene, or another hand, Gilroy?
Yeah, I'll go another hand.
Alright, they got 500 more to put down, each of them.
500.
I came up with this game in my sleep last night.
Really?
Yeah.
Just for fun, I did it. I got 12.
That's a 16.
I got 20, so you're closer.
Nice.
Nice.
So you clear the gold off the table. Benset and Aranest and Thaddeus Gralt all give out a groan as you have definitely won the game this round. Benset, scratching his head, goes, well played. Didn't see that one coming.
Thank you for having us.
Of course. Filthy hobgoblin, though. You're not a fan of him, I imagine.
Well, I've only just met him.
Thaddeus Gralt goes, I only just met him too. He's not my type.
He does seem a bit dark.
Yeah,
Hurry.
Yes, murdery.
precisely. Which may be more, well, hobgoblins might be more accustomed to that, but even pirates, we draw lines.
Yes, well, Waterwheel continues to bring surprises and really seems to have its own culture. But I think I'm liking it so far.
As do I. After the last round of battles down in Zaida between the pirate lords, my ship got all busted. Had to go to port for a bit. So I journeyed by land up here. Heard it was an interesting place, and surely it hasn't failed in that aspect.
No, not at all. Well, gentlemen,
Till next time.
till next time.
Cutting back over to Jar and Bilber, you guys are invisible.
So now the only exit from the room is the north hallway.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah, all of the windows are covered in colorful embroidered curtains, which Bilberry claims are enchanted.
so we'll avoid those. And then is there anything to the west as we head north, or is it just the landing to the stairs?
No, just seems to be that landing to the stairs, and then the
Okay.
hallway cuts to the east, following that guard's path.
Okay, so yeah, we will have to follow the guard then soon.
All right, so you make your way up that hallway, cutting to the north, and then as you turn over this way, you and Bilberry stop for a moment as you see this guard leaning up against the wall in the southern hallway. However, he seems to be pretty drunk, in a bit of a stupor, as he has an empty bottle of wine on the carpet beside him, and is completely leaned up back against it and does not seem particularly responsive.
So I will Bill Barry's still next to me. I will reach out and try to hold him back.
Sure.
Touch him in the chest, since we can't really gesture to each other invisible now.
Yeah.
And lean close and
I will investigate. I will investigate the room.
Okay.
okay. So Jar will try to sneak into the southern room there.
All right. Throw your stealth.
28.
You're good. There's no way he's gonna beat that.
Okay.
So there's this room off to your right, your west, and then the room to the south. You dash into that western one, or
Let's go to the south first.
all right. So this one's nice
Long
and
way.
simple.
Okay.
Inside of this room is a small hoard of gold and some parchment that keeps track of Galdoon's income. Seems to be about 2,500 GP which appears to be his payments towards a mercenary group off to the west, which battle off drow against caravans.
So it's 2,500 GP, but the parchment says that it goes to paying for caravan protection.
Yeah.
All right. So Jar's not interested in stealing that.
Okay.
So he will double back to the western room.
All right. So in this room, this seems to be a bit of a study. It's a small and well-organized study with a great many ledgers and scripts about local businesses. And one book in particular looks to be interesting. It's locked with a silver latch, but it's easy enough to pick. In fact, it's rudimentary.
Okay.
You immediately flick it open. And the book is Galdoon's personal ledger and diary. Though much of the writing is mundane, you do find one interesting short passage towards the back of the book, which reads, "When the mayor returns, my contacts from the south will make their move. She might forget, but we'll always remember what Clan Molnar did to our people."
Okay. How large is this book?
It's a sizable tome, but it could be hidden away.
Okay. Yeah. Jar definitely finds that to be interesting, so he will try to bring his bag around and he'll shove it in there. Is there anything else of note?
Not in particular. That one stands out to you, and otherwise time is passing, so you think you should get out of here.
Yeah. So.
All right.
Back
So
out.
you reconvene. Bilberry has sneaked forward a bit, and he's looking down towards these two guards who hang over this balcony.
Okay. And where's that balcony? Can I get an idea where the balcony would lead to?
So the balcony would actually lead to the foyer, and these nobility over here who are sitting down, the ones that Grimshank is speaking with.
All right. So pushing them would not be good in this. So can Jar investigate the room? Does he see anything other than the guards of interest?
That appears to be it. Otherwise, it
Nothing
seems
loud
to be a bit of a lounge of sorts, but not being used at the moment.
All right. So I suppose with that, then we'll have to try to sneak past them.
That's the idea.
Nice, another 28.
Another nat 20.
Don't need him in combat. This is what I need him for.
You and Bilberry, stealthy as a mouse, make your way down into this final hallway here.
Okay.
This guard, you note, turns this corner and begins making his way down to the south.
Okay.
And you can see that sitting on that table is a helmet. It seems to be of a silvery metal, and it has two inscriptions of the moon on both sides of the helmet. And Bilberry gives you a tug and kind of manages to gesture into that room through the invisibility and goes, that should be the thing.
All right. I guess we will head in.
Okay.
Shall I roll sneak again?
We'll take that for now.
Okay.
And as you go in, through your invisibility, this guard walks on in and begins to pat away at that bed, setting the sheets and whatnot. You can grab the helmet, and then I need you to roll one more stealth to be able to...
Okay. That'll be a 23.
That'll probably do. Let me check on this. Doesn't come to a 23.
Nice.
It's a dang good roll, but not quite that good. So you manage to get the helmet, stuff it away, make your way out into this hallway, and then before the guard even knows it, back up and around. And you're thinking the easiest way to make it look like nothing has happened is just jump over that balcony.
Okay. How much time has passed since this all began?
You've probably been up here for 5 minutes.
Oh, that's all.
Yep. Really, you pretty quickly scooted your way on through here.
There is that dagger.
Jar really was interested in that dagger. If it's gone this easy, he's gonna start feeling a bit full of himself. So I think he's gonna go back for the dagger.
Okay. Bilberry leaps off the balcony and goes down pretty silently, scaling the walls, making sure not to touch the curtains, and will await your return.
All right.
You make your way back down to that southern room, and find yourself once again before the dagger, which is held clasped within a metal hand.
Okay. So Jar is going to reach into his shirt, pull out his thieves' tools, give him a little twirl, and try to
All right.
move it. So how do you want to do it? Just straight as a dex check? Or?
Yeah. You pretty much know what you have to do.
It's just a dex, or is it sleight of hand?
Probably sleight of hand, right?
Yeah, no, it could be sleight of
Because
hand.
that comes to 10.
A 10?
Yeah.
So you do manage to get the dagger out. However, the hand grabs around your thieves' tools, crumpling them to bits and also not letting go of them.
Oh. So I'm trading my thieves' tools for the dagger.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay, I'll make that exchange. I'll pick up the dagger.
The dagger is, for the sake of brevity, a +1 dagger, and it holds a charge of blink, which restores every midnight.
+1 dagger.
You're just gonna have 2 daggers that each do something. No.
That's my favorite spell.
Once per day.
You guys down below want to do anything, or?
Yes, actually.
Would
As
you
I've
like to
been
do?
like kind of walking around and eavesdropping, have I gotten a good idea of what a lot of them do?
Sure.
I know the ones Leander's been talking to, because
Yeah,
I
you-
listened to them earlier.
Yeah, and Leander had told you that these dwarves
Mhm.
are the local smith, they're the master smithies, and then the nobility that Grimshank was speaking with, you know the Grimshank clan is a bunch of goblins that brew potions.
Mhm.
Those nobility up that way appear to be woodworkers.
Okay.
There are a lot of the humans around here who tend to go out and get the raw materials, the lumber needed to build the town and maintain the water wheels and stuff. And then the other humans that you have here are often actually leaders of like farmers guilds and the like. They're the ones that are maintaining agriculture, but a local farmers guild in Karadmoren is really more of a militia, seeing as they have to be capable of fending off all sorts of monstrous attacks and stuff.
So most of them don't seem too happy with the current standing of things, based on what you're saying. They're having a hard time getting materials. They have to know how to fight.
Yeah, they seem to be. They're just in a rocky position right now at the moment, especially seeing as they're uncertain if they're going to have to be fighting the local dwarves or if they're going to be allying with the local dwarves. It's just that they've been left in the dark. And although Mayor Benevel has not failed them in the past, they just don't know what's coming up next. So that leaves a lot of uncertainty, and it's just a dangerous territory. However, Galdoon, he is intent on pretty much trash-talking Mayor Benevel because of the long history of dwarves and hobgoblins fighting each other. That's essentially it. It's that he has a cultural heritage that makes him dislike dwarvish leadership. And for that reason, he's kind of trying to poison the well in this party and convince the others that it's worthy to join his cause.
So I think as Maylee walks around, she's going to be just kind of saying things in earshot of people, like, been all across Alaire, never been to a town this spectacular or interesting before, and like coming, like, kind of complimenting the different areas that have to do
Sure,
with the
yeah.
people, so they can kind of hear like
Have some pride in their work.
this
and
runs
stuff.
so smoothly. This does this. It's so great that a town like this can exist and not get hung up on old fights and old things and really go for and just like kind of do that.
Sure, absolutely.
Goes
Clean the
around.
well.
Right, and I think adding on to that, while Leander's talking to the dwarves, kind of says things along the lines of, well, perhaps Mayor Benevel's negotiations with the dwarves will help bring in new workers and improve our amount of resources. Like just trying to come up with,
Sure,
things that-
supporting, yeah.
Right.
And as you glance over in the northeastern direction of the room, that corner, you see Bilberry scaling down a windowsill and then drop to the ground. And he looks around with a thumbs up as the invisibility begins to wear off. Jar, so you trade out your thieves' tools for a dagger.
Yes. Yeah. So and then he's just going to head down the stairs and.
You can, as an invisible,
Okay.
easily enough, slip past that guard and make your way back into the main common room there.
Now, is there anywhere that like a privy or something that he could have escaped to, or pretend to have escaped to, and just kind of come out and announce that that he's leaving?
Sure, yeah. There's actually this hidden servants' quarters down here.
All right.
Which you easily enough manage to pick the rudimentary lock. Actually, you can't pick the lock. It's unlocked.
I was gonna say, it's probably unlocked.
And you manage to get inside and, go uninvisible.
Dismiss the invisibility and he'll step out.
Oh, the food, it disagrees with me. I must now excuse myself. It has been wonderful, thank you.
And you guys begin to head out.
Never have I met such friendly dwarves. But I must bid you farewell.
Won't even say, well, we took all their money, so best be leaving.
Okay. Anything more?
I wanted to hang back a little bit. The guard that was guarding the door.
Sure.
I wanted to slip him a little bit of.
Some coin?
Yeah, 200 gold actually.
All
If he's
right.
the one that's doing the main guarding of this
Yep.
guy's thing. Yeah.
So you can buy his way out of execution?
I mean, a little bit when they notice it's missing, but if we run into him again,
Right, maybe you just
and I have
say.
the gold to
He won't say, "Oh, I saw those
totally.
people."
I don't question
Yeah.
it. It's just like,
So.
that dude's definitely gonna die.
Yeah. He's like,
So
you
with-
seem like a
Well,
nice
there are like
enough.
4 other guards upstairs too that will be dead. So.
he,
Well, I can see them.
He knew postings.
after a few minutes, accepts it, as it's difficult to decline. And you guys make your way back out into the rain, dashing through the streets. You go back into Ropbeard's, presumably, and set out your earnings before you, which Bilberry happily takes the helmet and looks it over in the firelight and goes, "Yeah, I'm thinking that's about 7,500 for you guys. I'll have that to you soon." And for the folks of Waterwheel, it means food for a good long while.
How much are you fencing that for?
Well, it's pretty nice. I think it does some cool things. But I'm not a magic-y type of guy, so I wouldn't know.
Well, Maylee's gonna, as soon as she comes in, like while they're talking, she's upstairs. She changed.
Sure.
Back down.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll
Jar's
cast
gonna-
Detect Magic. Yeah.
Yeah, yes, it is a particularly fine helmet. It seems to hold charges of Moonbeam, essentially.
Oh, cool. Druid magics.
Very strong.
Yeah.
Jar's just going to play with the new dagger, balancing the point of it on his finger.
Absolutely. Quite fine. You know it to be of elvish construction. And, Bilberry goes, I think there was well, I'm supposed to be pounding it off to a certain buyer. He was really, really looking out for this thing, but pretty sure he's a vampire hunter, so makes sense, right?
I suppose so.
You've never engaged in such pursuits.
No, only crazy people hunt down vampires.
I would have to agree.
I just bust into hobgoblin estates.
Well, they don't bite you when bad things happen.
No, exactly. And they can't turn me into a hobgoblin, so.
Maylee goes to you and says, "I don't like feeling indebted. And I don't know you that well, and you healed me. I don't know it. Bilberry, can I hire you to find a new set of thieves' tools?"
Yes. Yes, I could procure those quite easily. I have some good connections around here already.
Okay.
If you want some really nice ones, I could probably get it for like 100 gold.
She gives him 100 gold.
All right.
Like, that's taken care of.
So later in the evening, Bilberry will return to you, Jar, and present you with a set of +1 thieves' tools.
Oh. Jar's going to just twirl them a little bit,
Yep.
and pocket them away.
These are very fine, thank you.
Of course.
I could make a fortune off of healing people. Should rethink my career choice.
Where, if you don't mind me asking, now that Bilberry and Jar have a moment together, he goes, where are you from?
Well, Well, I was born in the Underdark, and I was spirited away in a raid by some powers in Old Town.
Oh. Old Town. Never been there. Sounds, a little boring. How's the Underdark?
Well, I was really young then, but it was terrible. I was slave.
Oh.
My mother was stolen from surface raid and forced into slavery and used as a pleasure slave.
Oh. I see. Well, I hope I never have to meet her.
Jeez, I'm Bilberry.
He's not exactly silver-tongued.
Apparently not. I can see why he's a thief and not a negotiator.
Dropbeard gets up and hobbles off. And he goes up to Leander and he goes, Have you seen Good Legs?
In the past,
What? Where?
mostly around Sarngar.
He said he was going west. I guess he made it.
Seems to be finding quite success in whatever pursuits he's had. Dancing.
Dancing. Yeah.
He's still dancing.
Disgraceful.
I was quite fond of him when I first encountered him, but
Quite talented.
He's quite lucky too.
yes.
He always was, but when you see him, tell him come home.
Next time we see him.
Pass that along.
That's so sad.
He hobbles back behind the bar. Is there anything else you guys would like to do this evening?
Since all armor shops are lame.
They are for now.
No.
Yeah,
Okay.
not particularly.
I'm gonna take my axe out again and put it on the table that we're at,
Okay.
and I'm gonna say, so I think I've come up with a mighty name for this weapon, as it doesn't seem to have its own. I think I'm going to call it Bloodletter. With the red iron and the amount of damage it did today.
An intimidating name. Sure.
I like it.
It's better than Leander's horse's name.
Well, you think that's bad, but there's this story that I once heard of some people that named the donkey some very, very silly things. It can't be as bad as that.
I believe it.
So, after some time, you retire to your rooms. And in the middle of the night, there is a low rumbling. It calls to raise the lightning gate! A great flash of light occurs outside your windows and a ground-shaking zap. It appears as though the giants are attacking, but due to your actions and the protection of the lightning gate, the town seems secure, and they handle the assault like it's a routine ordeal. When morning arrives and the sun rises, you are awakened by the sounds of trumpets, no doubt signaling the return of the mayor. When you make your way onto the streets, or towards a window to peer towards the gates, you see a dwarvish woman with a flowing purple dress, accompanied by two ogres at her sides, making her way into town. The crowd splits in front of her, and now you note that there is quite an entourage following behind her, passing beneath the northern gate. Dwarves with long braided beards, wearing shining bluish plate with a golden yellow hammer imprinted on their shields. They walk with an aura of dignity. Behind them, a group of 6 elves dressed in gleaming finery who walk with incredible grace, stoically observing their surroundings. One of the younger of the elves, younger than all the rest, with sharp facial features, long blonde hair and wide green eyes, as well as a bejeweled rapier at his side, takes the lead among the elves. And from Ropbeard's brewery, on the 2nd story, Clara leans from her window and gets a closer look with a smile. And we will cut to next episode. Come next week. Thanks so much for joining us, everyone. I know Twitch had some technical difficulties, but that ain't gonna stop us. You can catch this episode at worst on YouTube, uploaded on Tuesday nights. If you haven't followed us already on Twitch, make sure to give us a follow. And if you are watching on YouTube, throw us a like, throw us a comment, let us know what you think of the adventure, what you want to see next. Give us the Joined by Gaming stuff.
We are Joined by Gaming. We promote positivity in the gaming community. We also do a lot of fundraising for a local children's hospital in Albany. You can find us at joinedbygaming.com, on Facebook, Instagram. We have a number of events coming up.
Yeah, a lot of cool events coming up, including some here at the Freakopolis Geekery. So make sure to get in on those board game nights and check out Joined by Gaming online at Facebook or Instagram. You can also find Freakopolis on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube.
Yeah, I've got the it's a /Freakopolis on Facebook, /Freakopolis Geekery on Instagram, /Freakopolis on Twitter. So yeah, search Freakopolis.
So on and so forth.
We also are at Freakopolis.com. We have a bunch of products on sale from our comic and game shop, Freakopolis Geekery, including the shirts got put up this week.
Ooh, yeah.
And we can probably hook you up with a Lands of Alaire sticker if you get something from there.
They are sweet.
But if you don't want to buy a shirt, you can follow us here on Twitch. We're going to give away one to a follower at 200
followers, which we're getting there. So yeah, you can find Freakopolis all over the place. Be sure to check out Freakopolis.com. Thank you so much to our amazing players, and thank you to our father, Troy, who puts in so much work to make sure that this is all edited and comes out right. It cannot be done without him. Until next week.
And then there's Joined by Gaming.
Till next week in the next adventure. We will see you then, guys. Have a good night.